Hello Reds and welcome to Top of the Cop. In today's video I'm going to be talking about 5 attacking players that Liverpool should be looking at in this transfer window. With top 4 now secured, I do think it's about time that we invest in an out and out number 9. You know, Jota's come in to compete with Salah and Mane and obviously keeping things fresh there. And I think we need a central striker that's going to compete with Firmino, or even give Klopp obviously more strings to his bow, so to speak, maybe allowing Firmino to play in a deeper role. And the 5 I've gone with today, I've obviously gone with young players who will come in and obviously do well, but might not reach the dizzy heights of say 20 goals plus a season. And there are a couple of certain players there that would achieve those figures. So I've gone for a bit of a mix. And as ever, if you do like today's Top of the Cop video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more Liverpool content. And with that being said, let's get into it, Reds. And at number 5, I've gone with RB Salzburg's Zambian striker, Patson Daka. Now, I must admit, I didn't know too much about him. It was only recently I've seen a lot of people talking about him on Twitter, social media, things like that. So I decided to have a little look at him, have a little look at his numbers and things like that. And you know, they are impressive. And in the Austrian Bundesliga this year, he's led the line in 28 matches and scored 27 goals. And if that's not consistency, I don't know what is. He is 22 years old. He's been dubbed the next Samuel Eto'o. So obviously you can decide whether or not he's that good. But to be honest, when you do look at him, he does remind me of Eto'o. He's fast, he's nimble, he's got an eye for goal. And I can see why he has been linked with a move away from Salzburg. I've seen many links with Spurs, West Ham, Liverpool, and I'm sure there's going to be many suitors for his services come next season. And I understand he's only playing in the Austrian league, but I believe his actual fee would cost in the region of say 18 to 20 million. So I think that's a relatively cheap option considering the goal return, and I'm sure, you know, working with Klopp and obviously better players, it'll only bring the best out of him. So Patson Daka makes my number 5. Now, number 4 on my list is Ismaila Sarr from Watford. Now, I understand they've been playing the Championship this year, but this 23-year-old Senegalese winger, when he played in the Premier League a few seasons ago, you know, he was very impressive, and I think he actually done an actual number on Liverpool. He scored 2 goals at Anfield, and they were both of very high quality. He reminded me of a young Mane, if I'm being honest, and that's not just because they're obviously the same nationality and the same position. I believe that Mane is Sarr's idol, and for me he would actually be an unbelievable signing. He scored some unbelievable goals. As I say, his work rate is up there. He's fit, he's fast, he's strong. Again, as I say, he's like a younger Mane, and I just think if Liverpool were to make a move for him now before he obviously gets to set the Premier League alight yet again, I think it'll obviously cost us a lot less than it would do, especially if Watford do stay up next season. And I'll be honest, I was very surprised that nobody came in for him when Watford went down. Although he did only just sign for them that season, I'm still surprised nobody could prize him away from Watford. And you know, for a winger, he's played 39 games in the Championship this season, which is a pretty, you know, decent amount of games. It doesn't look like he's very injury prone, touch wood. Looks like he's a solid winger, and he has chipped in with 13 goals as well, which again isn't too bad for a winger. And if he was to come into a Liverpool team, obviously he will play out wide. I'm pretty sure he can play centrally as well, but it might just be an option to move Salah centrally and play Sarr on the right. And you know, him and Patson Daka are going to cost a lot less than the top 3 that I've gone with today. So if Liverpool's are bringing him, I'd be more than happy. Now, number 3 on my list is Borussia Dortmund's Jadon Sancho. Now, he's been linked with everybody in the Premier League. Last transfer window, obviously Man United. This transfer window, again United. People have been talking about Liverpool, and I'm pretty sure he is going to be making a move from Dortmund, whether it's this window or the next. It'll be pretty soon. So now that we've got Champions League football under our belt, we can offer that enticement, which we'd have been unsure of a few weeks ago. And yeah, what can I say about Jadon? You know, we all know him. He's been breaded into the England team now, and you know, he's played 32 games across the Bundesliga and obviously the domestic cups, scoring 14 goals, and then he's got an incredible 15 assists. Now, one thing I've noticed this season with Liverpool when it comes down to obviously the final third, up until a few games ago, when Mane, Salah, Robertson and Trent have been getting into great attacking areas behind the full-backs, behind the defensive line, the final ball just hasn't been there. It has been something that we've lacked on. And if we take that with Jadon, that's something that he would bring to the team in abundance. You know, his assists, his decision making's all there. He may not be as prolific in front of goal, but again, he's only 21 years old. He's not an out-and-out striker. He is that mould of an inverted winger that we've got at the moment. And again, you know, you could play him out wide right, left, bring Salah central, and he's going to create a lot more opportunities for the front three, as well as chipping in with a few goals. He will cost a lot of money, but at the end of the day, that's what you pay for the quality that he brings. He's English as well, so that also, when he's coming back to Premier League, is going to carry a bit of value, because obviously, you know, the English quota for teams in our league. But yeah, if you're not looking for an out-and-out number 9, but you're wanting to bring more creativity to the team, then I think Jadon Sancho would be an ideal fit for Liverpool. Now, number 2 on my list is going to put the cat amongst the pigeons, I'm not going to lie. But as of this moment, Harry Kane has openly said that he wants to leave Spurs, and I understand, you know, he's been linked with a lot of teams. The likeliness is Liverpool wouldn't land his signature, and I understand a lot of people don't like him. I'm not going to lie. I don't like him, but I don't know if that's just because he's so good, and obviously you hate to play against him, or just if I don't like the person. I couldn't really tell you. But if you actually take Harry Kane at face value for what he offers, he is going to guarantee you 20 plus goals every single season. Now, when you look at our formation as well and what we play, you put Harry Kane spearheading our attack. There's not going to be many games we're not going to score 2 plus goals in. And if we've got all our defence back, we're not going to concede that many. So with the added firepower of Harry Kane in the Liverpool team, I just think that we could obviously attack on all fronts next season. Now, my only issues are, you know, he has had a few major injuries, I'm going to say, over the last few seasons, and he has signed a 5-year contract, of which I believe he's still got 3 years left on, and, you know, Daniel Levy is not going to let him go for next to nothing, regardless if he hands in a transfer request. You're looking at 100 million plus. People have even talked about 200 million now. He's nowhere near worth that amount of money just for age alone. So it is a massive risk if you were to spend 100 million plus on a player and then he gets injured. That would just be an absolute disaster from a Liverpool point of view. But then you look at what he brings in the form of goals. He also drops in deep, builds up play, and you know, he does score a lot of goals, but he is very unselfish in front of goal as well, of his teammates in a better position, which I think is something that Liverpool really need to work on. It's something that I've noticed over, you know, the past 12 months or so, that we can be a bit greedy up front. In recent weeks, I've been passing the ball to each other, and look what it's got us. You know, we've got quite a few more goals because they are passing, but it wasn't the case a few months ago. And you know, he's pipped Mohamed Salah to the Golden Boot this year, but you know, it's in a team that have finished 7th. They're obviously very inconsistent, and if you put Harry Kane in the Liverpool team, I'm sure he's going to get you near 30 goals. So that's why he makes my number 2. Now, number 1 won't come as a surprise to many, as I think every Liverpool fan, in fact I think every football fan in the whole world, will do anything for this player's signature, and that is the French superstar Kylian Mbappe. Now, I know what you're going to say. He's going to cost 250, 300 million plus. I get that, and you know, when you look at it at that point of view, knowing our owners, they are not going to blow that amount of money on a football player. But I'm going to talk about a few things that got me a bit excited when I thought about the potential of Mbappe gracing the Anfield pitch next season. And you know, I think it would be doable now, again, that we've got Champions League football. So when you look at it, Mbappe is obviously playing French League. They just lost out on the Ligue 1 title to Lille. And you know, what else is there for him to prove now at the age of 22 in the French League? It's probably the 5th best league in the world. You know, it's behind Italy, Germany, Spain and the Premier League when it comes to competitions. And as I say, he's got absolutely nothing to prove in that league anymore. He's at that perfect age now where he could go to another club like Liverpool, and you know, in 5 years, when he's around the age of 26, 27, he's still young, and you know, if he really does still have that dream to play for Real Madrid, I'm sure he'll do what he pleases, you know. So I think his next step is massive for him, and I think as his progression of a player, I think the Premier League would suit him perfect. And obviously I'm going to be biased and say the Liverpool team would just be absolutely perfect for him to come into. We've got a number 9 slot there that he could just slot into. He can play wide. He's the fastest thing I've ever seen on 2 legs. He's prolific in front of goal. And, let's break it down. So, the admiration for Liverpool is there for all to see. He's talked quite openly about how he loves playing FIFA as Liverpool. He's talked quite highly of, obviously, things like when Trent done his celebration. He's always been very complimentary of, obviously, the manager and the team. Now, the 10% of the football club that Liverpool sold to, obviously, LeBron James and his consortium generated £500 million for FSG. Now, if you take that on face value, they're basically saying that club is worth $5 billion. The marketing behind that partnership with LeBron will have $1 billion turnover within 12 to 18 months. The sponsorship deal with Nike as well. Obviously, Kylian Mbappe is sponsored by Nike, and there has been talks of obviously them helping out in some capacity, whether it's wages or transfer fees. And what I mean by that, it might be along the lines of he gets more royalties and things if he signs for a Premier League team, because obviously the Premier League is the biggest and most marketable league in world football. The Super Six only existed because the likes of Barca, Real, Juventus are skint, and they wanted to obviously combine forces with the powerhouse, the juggernaut that is the Premier League. And once the Premier League teams dropped out of that, it was dead in the water. So from a marketing point of view for Nike, for Mbappe himself, a move to the Premier League would be on the cards. And as I say, all these little things that obviously fall into place if FSG were to stump up 200 million, let's just say, and the rest was generated by obviously salary, sponsorship and things like that. It's not going to be a million miles off. And he has actually only got a year left on his contract. So if you take that in consideration, what are PSG going to do unless he signs a new contract? Are they just going to let him go for free next summer, or are they going to cash in now? So this 250 million transfer fee that's been thrown about could be dramatically lower. And I do understand there is a massive likeliness that this won't happen, but all the signs from a Liverpool fan suggest that there is a slim chance that this could be done. And I'm sure a lot of Liverpool fans will be nodding in agreement. And if you have enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button as it does help out the channel. And if you are interested in more Liverpool content, please do hit that subscribe. All our social links will be down below in the description as well, so if you're on your Twitters, your Facebooks, your Instagrams, please drop by there and send us a follow. And with that being said, take care, Reds.